If you look up at the moon, you will see a yellowish or white disk studded with dark structures. However, despite this appearance at its face value, the moon is not exactly yellow or bright white. It's more likely dark gray with white, black, and even a little orange, and it's all caused by what it's made of. But what exactly is the moon's color? Hello and welcome to Tech Hook. In today's video, we are going to explore what is truly the color of the moon. But before we get started, let's first know what is the apparent color and the true color. The moon appears to shine because it reflects sunlight. It does not produce any light of its own. It doesn't even reflect that much light to begin with, reflecting only 3 to 12% of the sunlight that strikes it. The perceived brightness of the moon is determined by where it is in its orbit around the Earth. The color of the moon as seen from Earth can also vary significantly, ranging from red and violet to white or yellow. However, this is due to optical phenomena in our atmosphere rather than the moon itself. In other words, that is only the apparent color. The true color is not affected by optical tricks. So to get to the bottom of it and see what its actual color is, you need to have the right position for view. Fortunately, the NASA missions of the Apollo program, alongside many more missions from NASA and other space agencies, provide us with a brilliant view of the moon. We now know that the moon's surface is composed of volcanic rock, which give the moon its true colors. From the highlands to the Maria. The contrast between the whiter and darker areas of the moon is most its distinguishing feature. The lighter surfaces are the lunar highlands, also known as terrae, whereas the darker areas, often but not always the lowlands, are known as Maria. Because the highlands are iron-poor and calcium-rich, they are also lighter. Iron-rich areas on the moon tend to be darker. The dominant rock in the lunar highlands is a northocite, which is primarily composed of calcium-rich plagioclase feldspar. This rock can also be found on Earth. The highland rocks can be even whiter. So-called pristine highland rocks are not significantly altered and may even represent material from the lunar crust formation. These extremely rare rocks were collected by Apollo astronauts. Meanwhile, the Maria have a greater abundance of basalts, which are dark volcanic rocks. Basalts are also fairly common on Earth, and they are formed by the rapid cooling of darker lava rich in magnesium and iron. The lunar Maria are essentially basaltic lava floodplains, and basalt lava is also very common on the surface of Mars. Basalts were also among the first rocks brought back by Apollo 11. The difference in geology is largely responsible for the moon's color variation. Although lunar rocks have some differences, they are strikingly similar to those found on Earth. However, basalts are not always pitch black or even very dark. They occasionally contain the mineral olivine. Olivine is a beautiful green crystal in its natural environment that is buried at high temperatures and pressures. It begins to wear down as it approaches the surface, but it still can retain that greenish hue. This is why some areas of the moon appear to be slightly green. Of course, there are other rocks on the moon as well as other features that can alter the color of the scene. The lunar landscape is distinguished by volcanoes, hills, lava flows, and depressions formed by impact craters. These features are frequently marked by other rocks known as breccias, which are essentially rocks formed of broken fragments of other rocks cemented by a fine-grained matrix. However, as is common on Earth, the rocks are not always exposed to the surface. Instead, they could be covered by regolith dust. Unlike Earth soil, which is frequently held together by water, lunar soil is loose and heterogeneous. However, regolith resembles Earth soil in many ways with a dark gray color. But in addition to all of this, there is another factor that contributes to the moon's orange hue. On Earth, the yellow-orange coloration is usually attributed to hydrated iron oxide, but researchers now believe it is due to volcanic glass beads on the moon. So, what color is the moon? Well, the simple, uninteresting answer is that the moon is essentially covered in various shades of gray, ranging from very light highlands to dark basaltic floodplains. But if you took a photo of the moon and increased the saturation, or looked very, very closely, you would notice some remarkable variation. Green tints in olivine-rich areas, orange tints in iron-poor areas, and even some bluish tints in titanium-rich areas. Simple questions like what color is the moon can require a lot of science, and in this case geology, to answer. The moon is a fascinating place that continues to pique our interest. Remember, when you look at it beautifully reflecting the sun's rays, it's actually gray, black, green, and orange. However, it is mostly gray and black. If the moon is visible, go see what color it is. During the day, the moon will appear faint and white, surrounded by the blue of the sky. The moon will appear bright yellow at night. Why does the color of the moon appear to change from white to yellow as the day turns to night? The moon appears gray in most photographs from space and might certainly be gray in reality. We say might here because researchers every now and then will have something or the other to say, and what seems to be true now might not be so true tomorrow. But then why is the moonlight white? White, like pink, is not a visible spectral color, but rather the perceived color of a light source that emits all visible colors, such as the sun. When viewed from space, the sun appears white rather than yellow due to the filtering effect of the atmosphere. Moonlight is also white because the moon reflects sunlight back into space. From space, the moon appears white. Done? No, we've only actually just begun, so get a cup of coffee and settle in because you already know this isn't the whole story. The moon isn't always white for us on Earth, is it? The moon sometimes looks a lot different colors too. If you ask any child what color the moon is, they will most likely tell you that it is yellow. But have you ever stood on a beach or on a boat and watched the moon rise or set over the sea? Then the moon is neither white nor yellow, it appears dark red. Are we finished? Okay, yes we are, with some questions answered and awaiting yet some more. Yeah, that was fast. But what are your views on the video? Do you believe that the moon is some other hue altogether? Let us know in the comments section below. And if you liked the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe to Tech Hook. Also, don't forget to press that bell icon. This way you will never miss out on all the new and interesting videos that we come up with.